Locked On Phillies postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
So as I've been saying, Nick Castellanos needs a 10-year contract extension, obviously. So let's stop beating around the bush with that. Let's get a deal done there, Dave Dombrowski. We've all had Nicky Three Buttons is back for the longest time now. You know what I'm saying? How about that? Of course, just when we're talking about Nick Castellanos needing a break, Nick Castellanos needs to sit out. He starts putting together some of the best at-bats, best production that he's had all season long. His not first, not second, not third, but fourth hit of the night walks it off, baby. Let's see. We've had Nicky Three Buttons. We've had Nicky strikeouts. Is that what he's been? Nicky strikeouts. Nicky sit down. I think we've had Nicky walk off right now. How about that? Second game he's actually won for the Phillies in the late innings. Not too shabby there, Nick Castellanos. Love to see it for him. I really do. I mean, as I've told you guys before, I root for the guy. I hope he does well. I think he's done everything but have consistent production. I think he's done it the right way. He's gone with the early BP, the extra BP, whatever. And tonight, he was clutch in a night where nobody was clutch until that ninth inning. And really, the eighth inning, Kyle Schwarber certainly stepped up, made it a one-run game, obviously, and forced the Padres' hand to go to their closer a little bit earlier than they would have liked. And it all worked out in the Phillies' favor. There was some real hot-button issues throughout this game, though. For instance, going into the bottom of the ninth inning, they left 12 men on base, and they were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position in the ballgame. That ain't going to work. And I actually felt bad for Aaron Nola because it felt like one of them. It felt like a start from years ago. With Aaron Nola, we were going, wow, could they just get him some run support? Could something get done for Aaron Nola to go out there and actually have some support from his offense? That's what it felt like in tonight's ballgame. And then, of course, that didn't come till way late, and they were able to at least take him off the hook for the loss. So that was great. Welcome into the show, by the way. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channel. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And this is your Locked On Phillies postcast, and it is brought to you by the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Let's start it off with 3 big things as we do each and every night. Number one, nothing will top this. This is the number one thing, and we're going to pay our respects to the great Willie Mays. We'll talk about it a little bit later in the show, but he deserves, without question, the late, great Willie Mays deserves to be the number one on tonight's list. So Willie Mays is number one. We'll talk about his career. We'll talk about all his accomplishments and the great things he did throughout his career. And also my own personal story, not directly involved with Willie Mays, but a Phillies legend who referenced Willie Mays when I met him. We're getting into that conversation. And hearing this man say the name Willie Mays was one of the greatest sounds I've ever heard in my life. I will not zero exaggeration when I say that. Number two, with that being said, Nick Castellanos, 0 for 17, 0 for 14 in the series against the Baltimore Orioles, where you needed one of your bigger bats in this lineup to step up, especially if you were going to be batting him in the 2 spot. And he did the exact opposite of that. He was terrible in the Baltimore series, the biggest series of the season. He was god-awful. So you see him come out in tonight's ball game. Well, really, you see him come out in last night's game, and he's able to help you out big time in that game by getting some offense going for himself there with 2 base hits in that game. 2 doubles in that game to help light a fire offensively that so desperately needed to be lit after that Baltimore series. And then he comes out tonight and he makes things happen for this Phillies lineup. Not just the 4 hits, obviously, but also coming up with trying to get some things going earlier in the ball game. Second inning, he gets a 1-out single after Bryson Stott struck out. Brandon Marsh steps up. They get back-to-back 1-out singles. So now you got a runner on first and second with 1 out. Pache grounds into the fielder's choice. Unfortunately, in that situation, Nick Castellanos gets gunned down at home. so he can't score on that play, but really damned if you do, damned if you don't type of play, but he at least got the threat going in that inning. He comes back up to the plate in the 4th inning. This time he hits his 3rd double of the series. This one going to left center field. Brandon Marsh is able to bring him home on an RBI single to center. Castellanos scores on that. It's a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Phils. And then you had nothing offensively until Kyle Schwarber stepped to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning. Already in that inning, you had Christian Pache foul out to first base. Then Edmundo Sosa pinch hit for Garrett Stubbs. We will talk about Garrett Stubbs and his position on this team coming up a little bit later. But Sosa pinch hit for Stubbs. He strikes out. So you got Schwarber up at the plate. You got 2 runners. You got 2 out. Schwarber steps up there, and he blasts a home run nearly 400 feet down the right field line. 17th home run of the season, 6th home run in the month of June for the Schwarberian month that we are all enjoying. He made it a 3-2 ball game. So now it's a 1-run game. They decide to then go from Peralta to Robert Suarez. Suarez comes in. He has to face Trey Turner, gets Trey Turner to fly out to center field. Now Suarez has to have he's got to get back up. And he's got to pitch again. Got to come back out. He only threw a couple of pitches to Trey Turner, but now he's got to come back. It's not the pitch count. It's the up-down that gets you. Oh, and baby, was that correct today? And what ended up happening, Suarez comes back out for that bottom of the 9th inning. Bryce Harper steps up to the plate, immediately gets a single down the right field line. Alec Bohm goes to center field with a single. Bryce Harper, let anyone who wants to challenge the heart, desire, and hustle of Bryce Harper, let your words no longer happen with such ill-fated words. Because Bryce Harper steps up to the plate, gets the single. Bohm should have just put him on second base, but not Bryce Harper. The average mortal man only gets to second base. What does Bryce Harper do? He busts it from contact, ropes around second base, gets to third, and he's in there. Now you got first and third with nobody out. And in a 1-run ball game, Bryson Stott takes care of the rest when it comes to at least tying the game. A little flared single to left field. Love to see it. Nick Castellanos steps up into the box next with now a tie ball game. You're looking for somebody to be a hero. That's right. You need a hero in that situation. And Nick Castellanos plays the role of the hero right there. What does he do? He does the thing that most of us all hate that he does. Now, in this particular situation, you got a struggling pitcher on the mound. So what is the struggling pitcher Robert Suarez going to do in this situation? He's going to throw a fastball. So in this case, I have no issue with Nick Castellanos jumping all over a first pitch fastball that was down and in, and he goes with it to the opposite field, bounces in fair territory, goes over the wall for an RBI, ground rule double, but what it should really just be called is the RBI walk-off double by Nick Castellanos. So credit to Nick Castellanos, who has really turned it on over the last 2 games here with 6 hits, 4 doubles in these last 2 games. You'll love to see it. So Nicky 3 buttons, Nicky walk-off, whatever. Good hustle to you. Also, veteran move. Before I came on the show, I was watching the post-game interview real quick with him, and he took his headset off right before they doused him with the water. So that's a veteran move, folks. It's a veteran move. I think they even said that during the broadcast. But anyway, love to see that for Nick Castellanos. That was great. Number 3. I mean, let's just talk about. I mean, Kyle Schwarber. There were other opportunities for him to maybe not have this game as close. But when the man is on a mission as much as he has been in this month, and he's now 1 home run shy of matching the most home runs he has hit in a single month so far this season. He had 7 in April. Now he's got 6 so far in this month of June. I would go ahead and say that he's going to get over that one. And he just took care of business in tonight's ball game. There were some bad things, obviously, that happened in the first 7 innings of the ball game. A lot of them I put on Rob Thompson. A lot of them I put on the baseball bats themselves, unfortunately. And when Aaron Nola needed some support, he did not get that support, not until he was out of the game. You're talking about a guy that, going into the 4th inning was coming out of the 4th inning was pitching perfect baseball. Come on now. Face the minimum? Come on now. So that was troublesome. But all's well that ends well in this particular instance. Now, I know there's some people that are talking about Phillies eking out wins and all that stuff. Here's what they need to do. They need to keep on stacking wins. That's it. Very simple. Just keep stacking wins. And at this point in the season, a win is a win. All right. I'm very upset that they lost 2 or 3 to Boston. I'm very upset that they lost 2 or 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. But when you face a team that's hovering around 500, like you did with the Red Sox, you can't give the series to them. And now you're facing a team that's hovering around 500 with the San Diego Padres, and you can't allow them any momentum to get going for themselves and then take you off your own game, especially when you're finally, after a long, long time, finally playing at home. And then, let's see, they play the afternoon game tomorrow, 1:05. Ranger Suarez on the bump for that. And then they have an off day, a very welcome off day for the Philadelphia Phillies. So, big 3. We're going to get into 3 big things. Willie Mays, pay tribute to him. Nick Castellanos, acknowledge the greatness that was him yesterday and today. And then Kyle Schwarber, the dominance with the Schwarberian June that he's been putting together for himself. We'll get into Aaron Nola's start. And I will tell you before we get to our chat, my own personal story when it comes to a very famous member of the Philadelphia Phillies organization recalling Willie Mays in a one-on-one conversation I had with him. Not with Willie Mays, but this icon. We'll talk about that in a second. You're Locked On Philadelphia, Locked On Phillies postcast here on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Game Time app is where it's at. If you haven't downloaded the Game Time app yet, what are you waiting for? Phillies have the afternoon game tomorrow. Might be nice to go down there to the ballpark for a game, right? Especially when the Phillies were away for so long, finally back home. Now you can go down to the ballpark. You can save yourself $20 when you use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. When you download the Game Time app to your phone, you create an account and you use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account on the Game Time app, download it to your phone, and use the redemption code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Make sure you handle your business right there with Game Time app. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace for Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down closer to first pitch that you get with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat so you know what you're buying before you buy it, and their lowest price guaranteed. Now, what does that mean? If you find tickets in the same section, same row for less money somewhere else, Game Time will get you back at 110% of the difference. How about that? They will credit you 110% of the difference. Game day ticket coverage. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So once again, download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. supplyhouse.com. Get the supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trade, supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is reliable. It's the most reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product to make sure that you have the right info to get the job done right on that latest product. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts for over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. If you need help with an order, get experts' opinions and also get industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business. And you can talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trade can get a competitive edge by joining supplyhouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping as well, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from the free membership at supplyhouse.com/TM and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. That's supplyhouse.com. So before I get to the chat, many years ago, I was working on a TV show, and one of the guests that was booked on the TV show was Harry Kalas. And I had, to this point, never met Harry Kalas. And I remember he was sitting alone at a bar. It was a bar event. It was a TV show at a bar, and he was sitting alone at the bar, and I was like a PA on this show, right? And the producer goes, "Hey, go keep HK company." And I'm like, yeah, okay. So I go over there and I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Kalas, I'm like 21 at this time. Hi, Mr. Kalas, I'm Mark Farzetta. It's an honor. Hey, Mark, pull up a chair." And I like sit next to Harry Kalas. I'm like, "Okay, there." And I'm sitting next to him. I remember he drank an O'Doul's and I was going on no sleep, which is not abnormal. And I had a Red Bull. And we just shared a drink, not in the typical sense, but we shared a drink. And I remember it was Harry Callis. I didn't want to bring up baseball to him, thinking I didn't want to annoy him with baseball. So I was like, so what does Harry Callis do when he's, not calling games? Well, I used to be a big drinker, HK says, right? And so there's like a lull in conversation. I think he kind of picked up that I was a little nervous. And then finally, out of nowhere, no prompting to talk about baseball, he just goes, takes a sip of his O'Doul's, puts it down and goes, I'd have to say Willie Mays is the greatest ball player I'd ever seen. And I was like, oh, okay, keep going. Yes. And I was like a little kid. I was like a little kid listening to story time in kindergarten as he just talked about Willie Mays and how much he loved Willie Mays' game, how much he loved his approach, how exciting he was, and what it was like to watch the greatness that was Willie Mays. And when I think of Willie Mays, I think of Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to ever do it. The Say Hey Kid, 660 home runs, the 54 World Series over the shoulder catch and all that stuff. That's what I think of. But I also think of Harry Callis. And I think if Harry Callis says he's the greatest ball player that Harry Callis has ever seen, then chances are he's the greatest ball player anybody's ever seen. And that lives on rent-free in my brain anytime I see the name Willie Mays. Is Harry Callis going, I'd have to say Willie Mays is the greatest ball player I'd ever seen. Okay, thank you, Harry Callis. Keep talking. And we talked for 15 minutes or so and covered a lot of the bases there, no pun intended. But I have a lot of respect for Willie Mays, a ton of respect for Willie Mays. And as a guy who grew up loving the sport of baseball, Willie Mays' name is obviously one that if you don't know enough about, you gotta go back and you gotta watch it. You got to watch it on YouTube. You got to watch, some of the great baseball movies. You got to go back and watch if you can find it. I think they still have it on HBO. When It Was a Game. When It Was a Game is one of the most incredible documentations of the game of baseball of course, the game of baseball in the United States, but the game of baseball. And Willie Mays is definitely highlighted, to say the absolute least, right there. So rest in peace, Say Hey Kid. Thanks for all your contributions to the game of baseball, certainly. Let's get to the chat check. I want to see what you guys are saying about this game, how much fun this game was for your Philadelphia Phillies, of course. Let's get to it. Crazy, what's going on? This team, okay, I'm going to go ahead and assume the chat started before the walk-off. I'm going to assume that that's what happened. All right, crazy. This team has lost all its mojo. Ari, crazy. Hi, crazy. Everyone's being nice. Everyone's saying hi. Hello, everyone. Oh, baby. I was ready to say something about the crucial hit at the right time. See that, IBH? Sketchable. Welcome back. Thank you for dropping a note yesterday. Hope all worked out with your young one. Dads keep on dadding. Know what I'm saying? Of course, No Stick Nick has 4 hits and a walk-off after Fritzen threatened to bench him on High Hope. I didn't see that. I didn't hear that. Yeah, we were talking about the same thing here. That's for sure. I think everyone's talking about that. Did I expect a walk-off win? Hell no, but I'll take it. There you go, crazy. Christopher Michael. Dude, Nick, okay. I see you, bud. Liam must be at all the games for the rest of the year. Yeah, is Liam now out of school? Hold on, this is a serious question now. Is Liam now out of school where he could be at every game? Is that where we're at right now? Because if that's the case, then all right, then this is the turnaround that we've been waiting for Nicky 3 Buttons, or Nicky Walk-Off as he's known tonight, baby. Austin, what's up, Austin? The button man is back. Crazy. Willie Mays passes. Casty walk-off win. Yep. 801 Phillies fan. What's going on? Don't look now, but Nicky Walk-Off is heating up, baby. Love seeing. I'm going to put all these up that I see for Willie Mays because it's the right thing to do. IBH, I have my spirits have been literally lifted. Damn, this feels good. It was really bad. Let's just stick on that for 1 second, IBH. Okay, let's stick on that for 1 second here. So let me just interrupt this positivity and great stuff for why this is such a great feeling right now and why this walk-off was so special. Here's why. Because everything else was terrible. That's why. I mentioned it. 12 men left on base going into the 9th inning. Phillies were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position going into the bottom of the 9th inning. That's bad. 2nd inning, Casty and Marsh had the back-to-back 1-out doubles, or 1-out singles, so you thought something was going to happen. Boom, Casty gets thrown out at home. 4th inning, Casty gets the double. Marsh is able to bring him in. You make it a 1-0 game with 1 out. All right, fellas, way to go. Then Pache steps up there. He works a walk. Stubbs strikes out. Schwarber gets hit by the pitch. He got bases loaded with 2 outs. Trey Turner grounds it to the 5-4 fielder's choice to end that threat. 5th inning, a little bit of a blip on the radar. Not much doing there, but the Phillies had an opportunity. 6th inning, Padres. This is where they did the damage in the top of the inning there with 3 runs. It's a 3-run ball game. Phillies have an opportunity here in the bottom of the 6th inning to really make something happen for him. Pache leads off with the walk. Stubbs strikes out. Now, here's my problem. Why is Stubbs batting? Why is he swinging away? If you're not going to pinch hit down 2 runs in the 6th inning with Stubbs, knowing that your offense hasn't really gotten the job done to this point, I could understand. I could see why you would pinch hit in that situation. But if it's me, I'm just having Stubbs lay down a bunt. I'm getting Pache to second with at most 1 out. That's what I'm doing, because Stubbs can also lay down a bunt for a base hit. So I was shocked to not see one instance of Stubbs just going, not even an attempt, not even a thought. I thought it was obvious at that point. Stubbs lays down a bunt. If you're going to have him bat, I thought you'd have him bunt. They didn't have him bunt. He instead struck out. So now you have 1 out, and you got Pache on second base. Schwarber walks up there. He gets hit by a pitch. You have bases loaded with 2. Excuse me. Why not have Stubbs bunt there? Yeah. So then Schwarber steps up. He gets the single. It's first and second with 1 out. So in essence, if Stubbs gets down that bunt, Pache might even score on the Kyle Schwarber single to right field in the 6th inning. So then you would have a 3-2 ball game. But instead, they now have first and second with 2 outs in the inning. Yeah, first and second with 1 out. Then Turner lines out to right field, deep right field, I might add, and then Harper flies out to left field. So each batter goes opposite way for flyouts. So that's how that ended in the 6th inning. And then the Phillies didn't get anything until the 8th inning when you had the Kyle Schwarber solo home run. And then in the 9th inning, just to walk you through it for those that didn't see it, might be joining us a little late here, Bryce Harper led it off with a single to right field. It was a 3-2 ball game at that point. Second pitch of the at-bat. This one, back-to-back changeups he got. He waited on the second one. He was able to punch it out there. It did drop in the zone. It would have been a strike if he didn't hit it. So it would have been a 1-1 count either way. But he recognized it from the first one, hit the second one, put that into right field. Bohm went up there with a single on the second pitch of the at-bat to center field. Harper busted it around to third base to make that happen. Stott goes up there. Third pitch of the at-bat. Now, keep in mind, there had not been a called strike yet. Count to Harper was a 1-0 count. Count to Bohm was nothing. Stott goes up there, sees 2 balls. They go outside the zone, both one a low, one away. Then he hits one that was low and inside. He inside outs into left field. Then you get Harper scoring on that one. Castellanos sees one pitch, jumps on a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. The last 2 hits, the last 2 pitches of the game were 99-mile-per-hour fastballs by Robert Suarez, and both got taken for RBI base hits. Castellanos was the ground rule RBI walk-off double. Stott was a single to left field, RBI single to left field. That's how that went down. But yeah, there were some early goings in this game where you're like, I don't really like what I'm seeing. And that's what made the end of the game so special. It's that when the Phillies really needed to get something done, and this time, again, they had the meat of the order up, just like they did in the 6th inning, when you had Trey Turner coming up with first and second and 1 out, and Harper coming up. Both those guys line out and fly out. Not ideal. Not ideal, to say the least. But yeah, that's what made the end of the game so special, or as IBH put it, really lifted your spirits, as it did mine. John Marinelli, ring the bell. Spurgeon providing a bell. Ranger tomorrow, 105. Bust out the brooms. I hope so. Alejandro Loza. Loza? What's going on? We surprised it all. Every time they're losing, I always expect a 9th inning game winner run even if they're down by 6. Alejandro, what you're referencing is what you reference when the Phillies are a really special team. And going back to the Howard, Utley, Hamels, Rollins days, it was always at any minute, this offense is going to break out. Down to the last out, down to the 27th out, you can have confidence in this Phillies team. And this ninth inning is what I expect from the Phillies as one of the best teams in baseball, going up against a mediocre team in baseball like the Padres. This is what I expect from them. At any given moment, they can say, all right, enough of the nonsense. Let's get this done. and Harper led the charge in the bottom of the ninth inning. I mean, you could even say Schwarber led the charge with the home run to at least make it a one-run ball game and get their closer in the game an inning early. But Harper really helped this team cash in from the hit to the hustle with Bryce Harper. Ryan Campbell, what's going on? Oh, you're going to be there to watch Ranger tomorrow. That a guy. Enjoy that. Wait, what? Spurs, you got a new nickname. Nicky earns his keep, starting to turn it around. Let's hope it. Look, my thing, I even said this yesterday. He's got to be more than a week, man. We haven't seen him be able to put it together consistently for more than a single week. He's had like a good week and then a couple bad weeks and then a good week. Like, let's see it lock in there for a moment there. 801, it's a Schwarber and Casty June. I hope so. Vincent Jakonski, what's going on? Casty haters, suck it. Thank you very much. I don't hate Nick. I actually like Nick Castellanos. I don't like a 200 batting average. Oh, and after tonight, what did he get that average up? 4 hits tonight. He's up to 219. Look at that, 219. Hey, Stubbs is our backup for a AAA guy. For the AAA guy, Marchand. That's kind of what it feels like. Stott had a good defensive game. I will absolutely say that. Offensively, not so great. He had 3 strikeouts, 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. Not ideal. Not ideal. Ray Amato, Nicky walk-off Castellanos. There you go. Phillies can hit fastballs. Just keep giving it fastballs as long as they're fastballs. But the April, let's go. Casty definitely needed that game. Needs the series, it might turn out. You're absolutely right, April. SD closer had flashbacks. Yeah, he was scared, is what he was. Strom continues to be amazing, says Remo. There'll never be another Mays, Spurger. I agree, never be another Mays. It's halfway through June. I hope the poor kid is out of school. Well, I was just down the shore last week, April, and as a non-shore guy, I go down there, and there's like nobody on the beach. And people are like, oh, well, the kids aren't out of school yet. It doesn't get packed till the kids are out of school. It's like, oh, really? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Crazy. 75 watching. We're growing. 74 now. We just lost one cast. Or crazy. Oh, they're back to 75. Yay. All right. Anyway. No, I do appreciate everyone who has been really supporting the show, especially the OGs, you guys in there. Thank you so much. You guys have been awesome. We had our highest viewed show after the final game of the Orioles series, actually. I think we had 3,100. So thanks, everybody. You guys are great. Kevin just says, go Phils. Thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate you. All right, when we come back, we will look at Aaron Nola start, and we will look to tomorrow for the Phillies to bust out the brooms against the San Diego Padres. We'll be back in a second. You're Locked On Phillies postcast. Hey, you guys have some fun with Prize Picks yet? You guys have a good time with Prize Picks? You should have a good time with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It's the most fun, exciting way to get in on all the action while you watch your favorite sports, your favorite players. All you got to do is pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. With Prize Picks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 in a single game watching your favorite sports this summer. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in as little as 60 seconds. You just need to pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats, their projections, and you're locked in just like that. If you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has got you covered every week. From lowering select player stat projections on Tuesdays, which increases your chance of getting a win, to getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. You can bounce right back. Now, I jumped on the Alec Bohm bandwagon. He got the 1 hit. I'll take the 1 hit. I thought he'd have more than 1 hit, so I lose on that one. I also had more than 5 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. He had 6, so I hit there. Lucky for me. Download the app today and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's right. Download the Prize Picks app. Download to your phone. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less with Prize Picks. As for Aaron Nola, he was pretty great until he wasn't. It was definitely an Aaron Nola wall tonight. And that's what it looked like, of course, when they started to beat up on him a wee bit there in the 6th inning. It wasn't egregious. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. You could definitely tell that he lost the strike zone. Peralta started off that inning by being able to get a 7-pitch walk, so he gets on base there. Castellanos goes up there, and he gets a sinker out over the middle of the plate that he just put over the wall there, 408 feet to a 401-foot wall in center field. I thought Christian Pache was actually going to come up with it. I don't know if he just missed it. I don't know if it nicked off his mitt. I don't know. Also looked like he banged in the wall a little bit too hard there with his knee or his calf, and he wasn't able to come up with it, but I thought he was. And it was just a pitch in the right place that Castellanos went and got, and they made it a 2-1 advantage in favor of the Padres. Then Wade went up there and got a single to center field. A rise flew out to left. Wade actually tagged up on that, so now there's a runner in scoring position with only 1 out in the inning. Cronenworth goes up there and fouls out to Alec Bohm at third. And then Profar, on the second pitch of his at bat with a struggling Aaron Nola, Nola left a knuckle curve up in the zone. This is what hurt Nola in Boston. Seems to usually, if there's something that's hurting Nola, it's his put-away pitch, the knuckle curve this year, a pitch he's thrown more than any other pitch this season. It's when he leaves it up in the zone, and that's exactly what he did to Profar, and he was able to get good wood on it, and he put it out there into right field for an RBI single that brought Wade around to score from second. Wade, of course, did a good job of putting himself in scoring position, tagging up on the previous play, and then he was able to get Nola was able to get out of the rest of that jam there in the 6th inning by getting Manny Machado to fly out to left field to end that. And that essentially ended his start as well. When it was all in the books for Aaron Nola, the way it went down for him, and I did put his numbers up there. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks, 6 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits. All the runs were earned. 1 walk. He did strike out 6, and it was that home run to Castellanos that he got. 95 pitches through 6 innings of work. And I think in that 6th, going into that 6th inning, this is what sucks. Going into that 6th inning, Nola had 67 pitches. He had thrown 67 pitches going into the 6th inning. At that point, I'm thinking, you got 8 innings out of Nola tonight. You're going to get 8 innings out of Nola. You got a 1-run lead. You know, this lineup's going to add some more runs. Come on. And then they didn't add more runs until Nola was out. But hey, credit to the bullpen. Hat tip to the bullpen here. Kerkering, Strom, Hoffman. They got 3 strikeouts between the 3 of them. They did not issue a hit. They did not issue a walk. 3 perfect innings the rest of the way after Nola was taken out. Hoffman records his 3rd win of the season. Nola avoids taking the L. His ERA goes to 3.54 in this game. As for tomorrow, the Phillies will look to bust out the brooms against this San Diego Padres team. Phillies now 1 win away from locking in their 50th win of the season. Ranger Suarez will be on the bump tomorrow. He is 10-1 on the season with a 1.77 ERA. Matt Waldron will get the start for the Padres. He in 4-6 on the season with a 3.66 ERA. He's coming off a start against the New York Mets where he went 7 innings, allowing just 2 runs. He in his last 5 starts, he has not allowed more than 2 runs, and he's gone at least 5 innings in all of them. His last 4, he's gone 7 innings, 6 1/3, 6 and 7. Not allowing more than 2 earned runs in those starts. So tomorrow he'll get the ball, looking for his 5th win of the season. As for Ranger Suarez, he'll be back on the hill in his 2nd start since coming back from London. In his 1st start back from London, he went up against the Baltimore Orioles in that 11-inning affair. And unfortunately, he was great, but the Phillies weren't able to give him his 11th win of the season. He went 6 2/3 in that game, allowing 1 run on 6 hits, issuing 2 walks. That game gets underway tomorrow afternoon at 1:05. Phillies will look to once again bust out the brooms at Citizens Bank Park. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. Make sure you hit like and subscribe on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Be back with you guys tomorrow afternoon following what will be, hopefully, a Phillies sweep of the Padres. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.